Hey everybody, in concert photography, this video is about what really matters. When talking to people, unless they ask you specifically what gear you use, it does not matter. Even the bottom of the line camera will take a good enough picture or a decent picture at most concerts. Lenses you do not need f2.8 or lower or faster. It's the results that matter. It's the photos themselves that are important. If someone asks you what you use for equipment, go ahead and tell them. Otherwise, don't even mention it. Some of the reasons they may ask about what equipment you use is they may want to supply you with equipment. They may have other photographers that will be working with you. They may have some equipment that they want to share between all the photographers. They want to make sure things are standardized, and that's some of the reasons why they will ask you what type that you are using and what brand you're using. The bad news is sometimes people have a predetermined thing in their head that a certain brand of camera is the best. So a lot of times you'll see these people say, "What camera brand do you use?" They don't know anything about cameras most of the time, but they have it in their mind that if you're not shooting with a Canon, or you're not shooting with a Sony, or you're not shooting with a Nikon, whatever specific brand they have in their mind, then you're not professional enough for them, and it doesn't really matter. So to keep out of this rabbit hole, just don't tell anybody what brand camera you're using unless they ask. It's the work that is the most important thing. Have a great accessible portfolio. Show your best work. That is what is important. That is a lot more important than the gear that it was actually shot on. In fact, one of the photos I'm going to show you here in just a second was shot with this. This is the bottom of the line Canon camera. It's probably 8-10 years old. It has a an 18 to 55 kit lens on it. Someone actually gave me this thing. So I tried it out. It barely holds a charge on the battery, even though it's got a grip. So I probably need to replace the batteries. But this will do the job just as well as anything else. And I'm going to show you. What really does matter is having a good, nice portfolio. Only show your best work. Don't clutter up your portfolio with a bunch of stuff that's just junk pictures. Things with that guy with the microphone stuck in front of his mouth or face, so you can't see his mouth or his face, or tell that he's singing. Don't do that. Show your best stuff. You don't want various gear on the stage poking out of people's heads, so you want to keep that away. So do your planning, take good shots, show only the best. If the band grants you access to a media pass, they will want to see your photos also. So what really matters is have a Google Drive or a Dropbox or something nice. You can even have on your website. You can have a hidden web page. You can send them the URL for that hidden web page, and they can go directly it, and they can see the work that you put on that page, and nobody else sees it unless they have that actual URL. What really matters, if people cannot see your work, how can they tell what kind of work you actually do or perform? Can they tell the quality of what you do? No. So the best thing to do is have some place that they can see it, and they can gauge by what their expectations are. That is the best thing to do, is have some way. Instagram, website. If you shoot for a magazine or a website, you can direct them to some place to see your stuff. That's what you need to do, and that's what really matters. Another thing that really, that's scary. Another thing that really matters is keeping yourself out of trouble like that. Uh, be professional, produce good work, and have your work on time. Each time you do a photographic shoot, strive to improve and get better. Okay. You should get better on every shot, every shoot that you do. And sometimes it'll be questionable, but you should always try. Learn composition and technique. Snapshots still suck. If you want to shoot snapshots, go to Disneyland, take pictures of Mickey Mouse, shoot your snapshots. But this is different. Shooting good work is different than just taking pictures of whatever's out there. 10 good shots are usually better than 1,000 so-so shots. Be patient. Spraying and praying creates more work. When you shoot a lot of shots, you have to fish through them to find the ones that are good. And if your keeper rate is not very good in the first place, then you got a problem. So take your time, get good shots, and don't get up there and just spray and pray everything that's out there. Be patient. Another thing that's pretty important. I'm not a fan of blurry, wavy photos that are out of focus, with one exception. There is one person that Garrett shot a photo years ago. Garrett Mankiewicz shot a photo of the Rolling Stones where he put Vaseline over a filter and then screwed the filter onto the in front of the lens of the camera. That is art, and that's classic. But blurry pictures that are all over the place, shots that you can't tell how the subject is, they're too dark, the faces are dark, they're silhouettes, they're poor exposures, they're bad pictures. They're bad pictures. That's what really matters. Do not show bad pictures if you can help it. Turning the camera at a 45-degree angle, like this, may be artistic as personal preference. I don't like it, but it may be. That's up to you. Little things like that, certain people won't like. That's things that matter. Another thing that really matters, it's all right not to want to photograph someone and even politely refuse to photograph someone. One of the people that I'm not real thrilled, I would go out of my way to photograph, and I've been a big fan of his for a long time, is Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper and Nita Strauss are awesome. They're great showmen. I've been a fan of Alice Cooper since probably 1975 with Welcome to My Nightmare. The album is super. Problem is, he's one of the most photographed artists there is on the planet. It's just, I don't want to get caught up in something that somebody's photographed 3 billion times. If he calls, ask, okay, but I don't want to do that. Another band that's the same way is a band that's had more farewell tours than you can imagine. They're very wrapped up in drama. They have a lot of issues going on. They change personnel frequently and have problems. I just don't want to get caught up in that drama. They're very popular, and they're also one of the most photographed artists that's probably out there. Another artist, another group that I really like, and that would be 38 Special. I've loved them since the early '80s. Problem is, 38 Special is one of the most cell phone photographed bands on the planet. I don't want to mess with that. I don't want to even get involved with that. I'd love to see Don Barnes, but I don't want to do that, and I'm not going to photograph them. There are a couple other artists that are out there that are starting to get that way, where there are a lot of cell phones, a lot of people taking photographs of them. They're just overdone, and I try to stay away from that. And that's one of the things that matters to me. One of the things that really matters is to be tactful. Don't be an ass. Okay. Remember, word gets around really quick. Be nice. And I'm going to look at my next slide. Say thank you. Treat people with respect. Do what you say you're going to do. Okay. If you're going to produce pictures for somebody and you tell them that you're going to give them access to their pictures that they gave you access or a media pass for, do what you say. It makes a big deal. Remember, always remember, the fans are the ones that really, really matter. Without the fans, there's nobody to photograph. There's no band playing. The fans are the ones that really count. And be prepared to do your work. Having your act together really matters. So that's some of the things that really, really matter. And if you haven't figured out, it's cold in here. It's getting down in the 30s, and for Texas, we're freezing to death. But I'd like to say thank you. If you found any of this information helpful or useful or anything like that, go ahead and like the video, subscribe, please. It helps us out a bunch. And just remember, certain things really matter. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.